Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new farm vlog on the channel. So today we're going to be doing a lot of harvesting here on the farm because it is harvest time now. So expect like a 30 to 40 minute video with some time lapses, mostly time lapses, but some dialogue to keep it interesting. But I'm heading up to the shop here with Johnny's Gator quick to kind of run down what we're going to do today. We're planning to go on beans, but I'll explain that more in detail here. He's getting the MX all ready, so I'll just pull up here. Morning, Johnny.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I was just checking the oil on the MX, making sure, or oils on the MX, making sure that it was all ready to go.
Yeah. So my plan today, or the plan for what I think we'll do is we're going to go on beans because I did check before we recorded that the beans were ready. And it's been like 2 days since we last recorded on the farm. We've just been... I sold a load of hay on the back of the Duramax, so the trailer's empty now again, so that'll be nice, but that's off topic. What we're going to do here is, I think what I'll have you do is run the MX up to the field and drive it into that little median area, not the median, but like the road. And then I'll have you run a few headlands with the combine, and then I'll take over on the straight stretches and use the drone, which I need to remember to grab some extra batteries and just the batteries and the drone, so I gotta do that, and I also gotta get the semi out of the other field over there. So if you want to run that down, and then I think we'll just knock out, because we don't have that many bean fields this year. I would like to do more next year, but we're gonna mainly have corn to do this year. But if you want to knock out the, or we'll probably just knock out beans since the corn can last a little longer.
Yeah, we only have two fields of beans this year. We got the east one out past the pasture, and then we got the one just straight north of the farm here.
Yeah.
After I do the headlands, do you want me to get GPS and all that set up for you so that it's just ready to go for you?
Yeah, I think so, because I'm not very good with that stuff, but I'll just run your gator up to the semi, grab that, and then you can just bring this down, and then I'll meet you over there with the semi. And then we'll just have to decide. I think you can run the cart, and then if you leave this is like a tank in the middle of the field, I'll just unload into that while you're gone, dumping the truck into the bins.
Okay. Otherwise, I think we should get that into the semi and the cart, that field, or at least... Well, it'd be good if we did more than that, but that's kind of what I thought, or kind of what I figured for the acres and the average bushel acre count that it looks.
Yeah. So I think what we'll do is I'll run this up, grab the drone and all the spare, the drone batteries and stuff, and then, did you charge the GoPro batteries, by the way?
Yep, I did.
Alright, then I'll just head up there. I'll just record the cold start quick. So this is going to kind of be the maiden voyage for the Freightliner here. I will be having to cold start it, unfortunately. It's not too cold out, so it's not like it's that bad. It's like, it's around 65 to 70 degrees today, so it's not that bad. But when it gets colder, when we're later in the fall, we are going to have to plug it in overnight, I think. So I think what I'll do is I'll park it by the house so that we can actually plug it in, or in the shop, but we will get a little cold start action. Not too cold of a start, but yeah, it's going to be the maiden voyage for this thing, so I'm hoping it works well. It's not too far of a distance, but it's just... This past year for the farm has been so good, and it's helpful to have stuff like this, and there is a little bit of debt we have to pay off still, but it's just stuff where you kind of need it to be able to be successful in the farming game. So we'll get this little cold start, and I'll catch you guys up at the field. Alright, so we're coming up to the field here, and I did have to let this thing build air pressure, so we're going to pull up to the field here. I don't need to use signals, really, because this is just our private farm road. Okay, Johnny's on the far end of the field, so we're going to move to a time-lapse for this first field, and then I'll try to dialogue the second one, so yeah. We're going to head up to help him, and we'll get into a little time-lapse, so enjoy that. Alright, so we finished the field up now over there. Johnny came back now with the hose for the grain cart. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last part of the recording, because it's been a little bit since I recorded that, but basically the grain cart blew a hose, so we got that put back together, but now I'm just coming to the field because Johnny just got down here. We have his truck with the header trailer, but he's just doing his first round, I think. The problem with this field is it's a much smaller one, so it's a lot harder to get around in. I'll just drive up here. I do have a trailer on the back at the moment, so that's not optimal for driving around. I do need to spruce up the hunting cabin pretty soon, but it's going to take a little bit, and we don't have that time right now. Okay, Johnny's up here at the moment. So this area is the hard part because it's really narrow. We might just plant this down as grass because it's so tight now with our big draper. It's just kind of rocky, so this might make a better path. What I'd like is to own this field, really, up here. Just buy this field, but we don't have the ability to do that right now, and we need bigger equipment before we can do that. We really do need to buy another tractor, so we're in the market for either something in the early, like 2010 back kind of thing, so like a pre-emissions 8R or a Challenger of some sort, like a Challenger tractor. I don't think we're gonna go in for one that's above 400 horsepower right now, just because of the budget. So I think something like 400 down. So I don't think we'd be able to get one with the 2 tracks on the sides, but I'd like to get something that has a little more power, because I'd really like to get a bigger drill, like a DB60, a John Deere one, but we're still trying to figure all that out financially and stuff. I do need to run up here and grab the grain cart quick. I do need to clean up that little spilled grain too. So we have the semi here, and you may be wondering why we're not bringing it down to the field, but basically it's way too soft down here. Even if it's the summer or fall right now, it's still soft for a semi, and if you get any like water on the tires, they'll just spin out pretty much. They pretty much become like those drag slick tires, because they just have no traction, and you really shouldn't spin the tires, on the semis, because it's just bad for the diffs. But one problem is I don't know if I can fit through this field gate with these duals on here. I haven't really tried this before. So I know I can fit width-wise on the tractor, but can I fit this? One thing on the list to get is this, a grain cart like this, so close to that fence. But one thing higher up on the list is to get a grain cart, I think probably next fall or something, maybe next summer. but we need a bigger tractor to run that because the MX is a very big jump for us still, but we're still too low of horsepower for a cart like this. But what I think we'll do is we'll probably, like I said, get a pre-emission 8R or a Challenger tractor, and then we'll buy a cart like this used, maybe in a little, not really worse of shape, but more used than this one, because our neighbor's just letting us use it. We could use the MX, but I can only use like half a load before it's too much weight for it, so it's kind of just hard to get up hills. Yeah, I think what we're gonna have to do is probably get a bigger tractor, get a bigger cart, and then this following year, not the next one, we're gonna do one more season with our current planter, and then we're probably gonna switch to a DB60 or something a little older, like I said, but we just kind of have to figure out what order we want to upgrade stuff in. But we might upgrade our grain drill at some point. I don't see that happening for a couple years because we don't really do a lot with that. We just do wheat and cereal, like oat or wheat. The problem we're having is one thing we could do is plant beans with that, because beans are just a small little seed, so it's not like a corn kernel where it's a lot bigger. So I kind of think we might want to do something where we use the drill possibly if we get a bigger one, because then we wouldn't need to use the planter. We wouldn't have to switch everything over, which would be a lot nicer. So I'm gonna unload Johnny here. You there on the CV, Johnny?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up to you here. You made sure all the fittings were tight on this thing, right?
Yep, we're all good to go. We're just gonna stop because this field really sucks to cut.
Yeah.
But it sure does yield nice.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, are the moisture levels looking good over there for you?
13.7 average so far.
Okay.
A little wet by the woods. It should get drier.
Yeah, hopefully. Was it sloppy down in the little kind of low area at all, or were you doing okay for traction and sinking wise?
It was a little soft down there just because some of the silt kind of drifted down and got caught up in along the basin there. So it's pretty soft down there. I would just make sure you got speed and momentum, otherwise you'll be fine.
Yeah. So a lot of you may be saying down in the comments or whatever, thinking to yourself, well, why don't we get tracks? Well, the thing is, I haven't really researched it, so this isn't an exact number, but we have duals on ours, but $100,000 or not, no, cut.
So you can say that. You can say 100,000.
So a lot of you may be wondering why we don't have tracks instead of wheels, and the reason is we don't have that many soggy spots in the fields where it would be a problem if we sunk down a little bit, because we can still pull out of it with those duals on it. But from what I've seen, I haven't really researched it a lot. I think that tracks are like $25,000, I think. I'm not positive.
Nah, they're more like $100,000 per track.
Oh.
So it'd be a $200,000 upgrade, which is more than the combine's worth.
Yeah, that's what confuses me, because like you can buy small tracks for a UTV or something for a lot cheaper than that, which doesn't really make sense to me why it's so expensive, but I don't know. Just seems like a lot of money for a track, but I don't know. We're not really in the market to get tracks on a combine. It's not something that we want to spend the money to get. If we bought a newer combine, we still wouldn't get tracks because it's just not worth it for us. I still think dual wheels.
Unless it was in the budget. Unless that combine was like an S. Oh gosh, if we upgrade to a combine, it'll probably be like an S670 or S680, which would be our next combine, which is a step up. An S680 is a step up from the 9860 that we have. If we found one that was reasonably priced with reasonable hours and had tracks, we would probably get it. Just because tracks for compaction wise, because these combines get really heavy when they're loaded.
So unfortunately, I did have some small technical problems. For one thing, I accidentally left the radio on in the tractor without thinking about it. So unfortunately, the footage kind of got ruined, so I just turned it into a time lapse here while editing it. But basically, we just talked about upgrading stuff and things we have planned for like a new 2010 pre-emission 8R for our next tractor or something like that. We talked a little more about the tracks and just kind of general chatter, a lot of repeated stuff. So I time-lapsed it because I couldn't really salvage it for the audio, but yeah, we'll move on. Alright, so we're back at the yard now with the header and the truck here. Johnny's grabbing the corn head out of the building here. So we gotta wash this down and then put it in the storage area once we go over it. But we'll probably go over this in the winter, so we'll wash that down when we're done. But I think we can just get the header down the road without having to really... it's not that much wider, so I don't think we're going to need to put it on a trailer because the combine's about the same width, as you can see. Now this is the hard part, is getting this thing out of the building. You kind of have to go at it pretty straight. It's like a few inches on each side. But I need to go run and grab the semi, I think, first. And then, actually, I need to take my truck up there first, pick up Johnny, and then I need to take the semi and the grain cart back there. Yeah, so we're going to have to go together in this. I think is what we're going to have to do. So I'll see you guys once we're up at the field. Alright, so we're heading up to the field again with the semi and the grain cart now. Johnny's up in the MX, I'm in the Freightliner. We need to get Johnny his CDL. I got mine a few months ago when we were planning on buying one of these, but we just didn't get him one yet because we didn't know when we were going to buy one. I don't understand why this is a single lane road. I don't know why they just didn't do gravel all the way, but I guess there's a little residential house. But we're almost to the field now. And Johnny did make a quick headland pass so we could park stuff there. So it's right in front of Johnny's house, so if we need any tools, we can get some from his place. We're just hoping that nothing breaks down here. Pull into his driveway. And I want to stay on the pavement if I can because there's the gravel here. Maybe try to go over into the edge of the field. I believe there's a better entrance up here, yeah. If we just pull up here. I could probably just park right here, to be honest. Just depending on if I can actually get out of here. This is where things are going to get challenging. I think what I'll do is I'll probably just park up here for now. And then once he does a few passes, I'll just park in the field. That's a contractor's trailer that they left in the middle of the driveway. Gotta get him to move that. Let's see if we can just back around actually. I'll try that. Hoping I don't get stuck. If we just back up here, we can get right into that spot and not have to back out any weird maneuvers. Perfect. Alright,
Your
so we're
turning
gonna
signal's still on, by the way.
Okay. We're gonna move to an aerial time lapse of Johnny combining corn, and I'll see you guys when this time lapse is over. So I've been doing a bit of combining off camera here in the dark, and unfortunately the combine blew a main drive pump, and the belt, basically it's seized up, so we gotta change that. I'm calling the dealers in the morning to see if we can get a replacement part. We got about from the road over to here done on the field. We still have about half of it left, and then we have 2 more fields, so hopefully we can get this up and running again. But it's bringing the concern that we really do need to get a second combine around here, because this field is taking forever, and this combine could probably run a 12-row corn head, but it's kind of a lot of loads, so we probably couldn't. So we gotta get a better combine of some sort. Maybe like a used 98 or like a S780 or something that's used a little bit, because we're just starting to get to that point because of how big the fields are getting. So I'm gonna head up to the house now. I did run about a semi-load up to the farm so far, 2 semi-loads in total to the farm, but I came back here to just explain that. So it's about 8 p.m. I'm gonna go inside and just see if I can find a part anywhere, or make some calls if I can before it's too late to. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. It's free and it helps out a ton. And yeah, guys, until the next video, I will see you all later. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.